Welcome back to Soil Stories, where dirt is never just dirt, and every handful of soil has a story to tell. If you've ever stood over a pile of dry leaves wondering why nature seems to be moving at a snail's pace, this one's for you. I'm about to share a liquid technique that doesn't just speed up composting, it flips the whole process on its head. Leaves that normally take months to break down can soften, darken and collapse into rich compost in a matter of days. Not magic, not chemicals, just biology, fermentation, and a little patience. This is one of those garden secrets that sounds too good to be true until you try it once. After that, you never go back. Why leaves are so slow to compost, and how liquids change everything. Leaves are carbon-rich, dry, and stubborn. They're built to resist decay. That's why forests have thick layers of leaf litter that hang around for years. In a garden compost pile, those same leaves often sit there unchanged while kitchen scraps vanish. The reason is simple. Microbes need moisture, nitrogen, and access. Dry leaves are like locked doors. A liquid compost activator doesn't just add moisture, it carries microbes and enzymes directly into the leaf structure. Once that happens, decomposition doesn't creep forward, it surges. Liquids penetrate where air and dry heat just can't reach. They soften cell walls, wake up dormant bacteria, and, create that warm, wet environment where decomposition really thrives. When done right, leaves don't rot slowly, they collapse. The secret liquid gardeners rarely talk about. So, what is this liquid? It's not store-bought compost accelerator, it's not fertilizer. And yeah, it's definitely not anything synthetic. The secret is a fermented microbial liquid, often made from plant material, sugars, and thyme. In natural farming circles it's known by different names, but the idea is always the same. Capture beneficial microbes in liquid form and unleash them on carbon-heavy material like leaves. This liquid is alive. It contains bacteria, fungi, and enzymes already in attack mode. When poured over leaves, it doesn't wait to get started. It's already working. What makes it so powerful is that it doesn't rely on heat alone. It relies on biology. That's why it works even in cool weather when compost piles usually stall. So, here's how this liquid breaks leaves down so fast. Once the liquid hits the leaves, 3 things happen almost immediately. First, moisture penetrates the leaf cuticle, which is that waxy outer layer that usually repels water. Fermentation acids help soften this barrier, allowing microbes to get inside. Second, microbes begin consuming simple sugars and cellulose, producing heat and enzymes as byproducts. This internal activity causes leaves to lose their structure fast. You'll notice them turning limp within a day or two. Third, fungal networks begin forming. This is the real game changer. Fungi excel at breaking down lignin, the tough compound that makes leaves rigid. When fungi get involved early, decomposition accelerates dramatically. This is why leaves treated with fermented liquid don't just shrink, they transform into dark, crumbly organic matter that smells earthy, not rotten. Making the liquid at home is simple, cheap, and honestly pretty powerful. You don't need special equipment or rare ingredients. This is a kitchen and garden method that anyone can do. Fresh green plant material is the foundation. Weeds, comfrey, nettles, banana stems, pumpkin leaves. Honestly, anything soft and green works just fine. These plants already carry native microbes perfectly adapted to your local environment. Next, chop the plant material and pack it loosely into a container. Add a natural sugar source like molasses, brown sugar, or even overripe fruit. The sugar, feeds microbes during fermentation. Now, cover the mixture with non-chlorinated water, leaving some space at the top. Seal it loosely and store in a shaded, warm place. Within a few days, fermentation begins. You'll notice a sweet sour scent, not decay. After 5 to 7 days, the liquid is ready. Strain it, dilute it with water, and you have, honestly, a microbial leaf melting machine. This liquid can be stored for weeks if you keep it cool and sealed. How to use it on leaves for rapid composting. Well, this is where timing and technique really matter. Spread your leaves in a thin layer, either in a compost bin, trench, or pile. Shredding helps, but it isn't mandatory. The key here is surface area. Drench the leaves thoroughly with the diluted liquid, not just a light sprinkle. You want full saturation so microbes reach every layer. If possible, go ahead and mix or turn the leaves to ensure even contact. Alright, so you'll want to cover the pile with a tarp cardboard or even banana leaves to really trap in that moisture and warmth. Within 48 hours you'll notice heat building up, and then within just a few days you'll see the leaves begin darkening and collapsing. Make sure to turn the pile once midway through the week and reapply liquid if needed. In warm conditions, usable compost can form in as little as 7 to 10 days. Even in cooler weather, you'll see dramatic progress compared to untreated leaves, which is, honestly, pretty impressive. So, what does this mean for your soil long term? Well, fast composting isn't just about speed, it's also about quality. Leaves that are broken down through microbial fermentation actually retain more humus. They feed soil life, instead of just adding bulk. That makes a big difference for your garden, trust me. This kind of compost improves water retention, increases nutrient exchange, and builds soil structure over time. Gardeners using this method often notice fewer pest problems, stronger root systems, and better drought resilience. That's not coincidence. Healthy soil biology creates resilient plants. Once you start turning fallen leaves into black gold this efficiently, you stop seeing yard waste. You start seeing raw material. Common mistakes that slow everything down. Too much liquid is rarely the problem. Too little is. Dry pockets inside a leaf pile can stall decomposition completely. Another common mistake is sealing the pile too tightly. Microbes need oxygen, so, always allow some airflow. Using chlorinated water can also sabotage fermentation. Chlorine kills microbes, plain and simple. Let tap water sit overnight, or, if you can, use rainwater instead. And finally, don't confuse bad smells with success. If it smells rotten or sulfur-like, the mix went anaerobic. Healthy fermentation, on the other hand, smells tangy, sweet, and earthy. Why does this method work for beginners and veterans alike? Well, if you're new to composting, this liquid really removes the frustration. You get fast results, visible changes, and, honestly, a boost in confidence. If you've been gardening for years, it really unlocks efficiency. You stop waiting months for compost and start producing it on demand. When leaves fall, you process them immediately. No more endless piles, you know? This method, honestly, scales beautifully too. From a small backyard bin to a large garden operation, the biology does the heavy lifting, making it easy to adjust for any size. Turning a seasonal problem into a year-round resource, that's the real shift. Leaves are often seen as a nuisance. They're bagged, burned, even hauled away, and well, that's just missing the opportunity. But with this liquid, leaves become one of the fastest compost sources you have. Autumn becomes compost season, pruning days become soil building days. That shift in mindset is powerful. It's what Soil Stories is all about, seeing the hidden value beneath what others overlook. Final thoughts from the soil. Nature already knows how to decompose leaves quickly. We're just learning how to cooperate instead of waiting. This fermented liquid doesn't force the process, it invites it, and once you see leaves melt into compost before your eyes, you'll never look at a leaf pile the same way again. If this story helped you see soil differently, do me a favor. Subscribe to Soil Stories, share this with a fellow gardener, and keep the knowledge moving. The soil remembers who feeds it.